Hello, good evening. I hope you all enjoyed that wonderful video of the beautiful Olympic campus, all of the NatureBridge educators, and the students that are attending NatureBridge. My name is Dr. Jordan Thayer. I serve children and young adults all across the world, as well as organizations and all things related to mental health in my role as a licensed pediatric psychologist and school consultant. About 2 years ago, I was first introduced to NatureBridge through a pure chance encounter with Todd Koda, who is the Olympic board chair. You'll hear from him later tonight. Yeah, a round of applause for Todd. So while helping me with some computer problems, after having met me for only a couple minutes, he encouraged me to look out and reach out into to NatureBridge on the Olympic Peninsula. So I visited the campus and immediately became inspired to get further involved. And today I'm just one of many professionals who volunteers their time and expertise to help the staff to address the needs of students of today. So I have guided some of the staff on some behavior management and pedagogy strategies on how to address trauma and the trauma that some kids come through, as well as adult social emotional learning. And I had the fortune a few months back to go and do a little bit of a shadowing visit, and I got to follow some Olympic educators, some NatureBridge educators, as well as students for a day-long adventure. And I just kind of want to share with you some things that I saw. So the first thing that really stood out for me is how much science and these concepts of nature really came to light for these kids. I also saw creativity flourish as these students took and molded those activities that they're engaged in and the experiences to make it their own. One thing I thought was pretty cool is I saw some kids really step out of their comfort zone and adopt new roles that for probably something that was not normal for them, like being new leaders or organizers or even caretakers of one another. And importantly, I saw some kids really struggle with this and some even fail. I want to ask you, anyone out there in the audience right now, if you are a parent, please raise your hand. Okay, wow, all right. So you all probably know it is absolutely wonderful to see your kids or children, child or children, really soar and succeed. It's great. And it's also really difficult to see them struggle and fail. But I'm here to tell you right now that that is really, really important. One of the most important developmental milestones that all kids go through is something that us in our psych lingo, we like to call it the identity separation task, which is simply when they're trying to separate their identity from their parents by looking to their peers and other adult relationships to inform who they are. As far as we know from some research actually out in Australia, every single mammalian species goes through this process. It's really, really vital. Some other complementary research that comes out of several countries like Norway, Sweden, UK, Australia, they're all looking at what types of learning environments most facilitate and support this learning process and this developmental process. And they're finding the ones that allow for risk-taking, play, discovering things on their own without it kind of giving to them, and numerous opportunities to fail are the ones that actually end up developing resilience in kids, their own personal innovations in their personal lives, as well as the lives of their community, and how to understand and relate to people who are both similar to them and different than them. And you might not be surprised to learn that the sort of educational environments that those countries that I mentioned are studying are all nature-based. So really, they're giving their kids the opportunity to test themselves, test the world, test their ideas that they're seeing, and really test the systems that they're living in. Unfortunately, in today's American society, our modern one, we have something of the opposite. We have a lot of systems that are about structure and sheltering and a real disconnection from what kids actually need to grow up, to really develop into healthy human beings. And this is pretty prevalent in the modern day education system, which is in fact an outdated system that relies on a compliance over exploration, rote academic success over creativity or emotional development, a culture of evaluation, right? Like how good are your grades? And a general kind of sense of sort of succeed at all costs, regardless of whether or not that success actually translates into the real world. Thankfully, NatureBridge is not that. Yes, NatureBridge teaches science and connection to nature, but it gives these kids that opportunity to really be kids and to learn and grow in really helpful ways. It gives them time to connect with each other in new ways, to connect with adults that they might not otherwise have the opportunity to connect with. It helps them engage in learning opportunities and activities they might not otherwise get the opportunity to do. And all of the benefits that I have seen of NatureBridge in my work that I've been doing with them, all of it hinges on the care and the guidance and support that comes from their NatureBridge educators. So I want to invite you all with me to welcome one of these fabulous, wonderful NatureBridge educators, Maddie McLean, to the stage.